Hi and welcome back to day 2 of our guide for Empyrion. So just to recap what we did on day 1, we ran around picking up a lot of plants to level up, which is the fastest way. We went and found the large wreckage for the loot that it had. And then at the end of the day we started mining, and during the night we mined just pinging M from map. We did a copper mine here, there was an iron mine here, and we've just finished with a silicon mine here. So we've got a bunch of resources now. Now I did make a point of keeping our hunger over 450 during the night, which meant that our health regenerated to 500, although we could do with eating a bit more, so let's do that. Alright, now I did make one more constructor because the constructors were busy, so we were up to, this is really slow, so all night, so we got a total of 41 biofuel now, which isn't too bad. We got 700 iron ingots in addition to a bunch of others, so we got over 1,000 iron ingots. This one was on copper and stone, so we got over 1,000 copper ingots, again not bad. This one's still working on silicon, and we got a ways to go on that. But not so much silicon, but it's enough. So anyway, let's start picking these up. You have to go Control F to pick all these guys up. This one should have finished, yep. And let's pick this up. And let's head off. Alright, so the goal today is to head to, if we just go M again, is to go to this place called the Damage Comms Station, and we're going to set up a temporary base there and start making some things. We don't have any armour at the moment, so and we don't have a weapon other than the survival tool. So we are pointed in the right direction, so let's go. So just looking at our level, we did run around between the mines last night, intentionally not using the motorbike so that I could keep picking up plants to level up. So just going tab and stats. We are only at level 4. We would normally hope to be at level 5 or above by now, so I've got a ways to go. So I ran into a few of those crab things last night, so I had to kill those, which didn't do any harm for XP. So it'd be nice to run into a few more of those. So that's one of the quickest ways to level up, and that's just to kill stuff. So just looking at this wreckage here, it looks like the structural integrity is dependent on that piece there and this piece here. So I wouldn't normally spend the time. Let's just equip our survival tool and go to salvage mode. So I think if we cut down these two, so you watch how long it takes to get, let's see how many steel plates we get out of that. Just 2 steel plates out of that. But if we cut this down, this whole thing's going to fall, and we'll get a lot more. You have to be pretty quick picking these up with the F key. There you go. Ooh, quick. Alright, so just doing that we got 443 steel plates, which isn't bad. As mentioned, every single wreckage site does have a cargo box somewhere. Some are above ground, this one isn't, so you'd have to dig, and the only way you could do that is just to start digging away and just until you found it. So I don't normally bother because all you're going to find in there is usually a bit of food maybe and something else. I'm not going to bother. So these are eggs. We aren't going to use them until later in the game. Used in making certain medicines. Just picking them up for XP again, because every time you pick something up it's 100 XP. These white flowers, it's free plant fibers, which doesn't do any harm. So we didn't bother with this on day 1, but this is a silicon rock with the white spots, and that, as we know, is iron. But we don't need any more resources right now. As we saw on day 1, we didn't bother hitting any of those silicon rocks or any of those copper rocks because we didn't need to. And this is the comm station where we're going to set up, so I'm just going to pick all the plants up. Gain more for XP than needing anything. While we're here, I think you can't hit certain trees within a certain distance of the comm station. You can get this one though. Let's try with this one. Yeah, sometimes if the tree is too close to the comm station, you can't knock it down, but anyway. Alright, so this is going to be our temporary base here. So it does come with a chest, but that's pretty much it. There's a couple of things in. Alright, so let's start putting stuff down. So if we go and put... I'm just going to put a constructor down here and dedicate it to biofuel. Again, just putting way more than we can make, and that'll just keep going. So when we want fuel, this is where we come. Alright, so that one's just going to keep going. I'm going to leave it here. So I'm going to put another one down here and just put all of the resources that we're going to be using to make things. So I think I mentioned in the first episode that we have a weight limit of 500 here, but the vanilla version doesn't hold you to that weight limit. So we were way over 500, but it doesn't do any harm. So plant protein, we are just going to go tab, convert that into more energy bars. We could actually do, no, stop there. Because one thing I haven't done is make more bandages, and we could do with those just in case we get hit by something. So let's do that. Let's go tab, and one. We can only make one. Alright, we'll get some plant protein and we'll make some more bandages. Meantime, we now have the resources to start thinking about making some things. So if we go F3, now one thing I want to do on the weapons side is I've skipped the shotgun and assault rifle, which we could have got at level 3. And weapons, it's very much personal preference. I really like the sniper rifle, so I always wait till level 5 to get it, but we are a little bit shy of level 5. So we also need to be level 5 to get light armour. Now when we crashed, I'm going to make this a survival tent. Because when you put a tent down, it gives you two things. Firstly, it gives you a spawn point where you place it. But it also gives you the option to pass time, which is useful if you're waiting around for something to build. It's taking a very, very long time. So just looking at our level, excuse me, we are just shy of level 5, so we need to go picking up plants or killing something so that I can get to level 5, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to head off into Talon territory. Now one thing, as mentioned before, this green territory here, or this green shaded area, that's Talon territory. Now if we kill enemies in Talon territory, and we look at the factions up here, we still haven't discovered them, but we'll go do that now. If you kill enemies in their territory, you get reputation points, plus reputation points. If you kill friendly creatures, you get negative. So it goes both ways. But if you're going to kill things to level up, here's a good place to do it. So this is going to be the first time that I actually use the motorbike. So just stick it in one of your slots, just left mouse click, and then just press F to get on it. And then it's just WASD. You only use this very early in the game. Oh, a few frame drops there. You only use this very early in the game because once you have a small vessel, you can start flying around using it, and that's what we'll do. Yeah, it's not liking frame rate, or rather losing frames here. Alright, let's get off of C. Alright, control F to pick up, and this will despawn if you don't. Ouch, I just got bitten something. As you see, that took a couple hundred health there. Alright, let's go to defense mode. So these guys attack more slowly than you can walk backwards. So it's very easy just to cut them down. So it's 320 XP. Now I could take a bandage to get that health back, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep my hunger above 450 and just let it come back gradually. There we go. So there's a whole load of these things, so this is nice. So 320 XP each. Yeah, it's nice when they line up, but they're not doing it today for us. These things drop various things which you use to make medicines later on. I tend not, and meat, which we don't particularly need, so I don't tend to loot them. Because what they drop is so easy to get later on in the game. Okay, I've got them lined up. Alright, so where did that get us? 5434, so we're almost there. A couple more plants and we got it. Yeah, I didn't see that one creeping up blue. So there we go, level 5. Let's just get these two while we're here. Okay, back to the comm station. As mentioned before, these guys here, they look fierce, but they're not aggressive. Leave them alone, they leave you alone. Okay, so now we're at level 5, so what we want to do, if we go F3 and go to the tech tree under weapons, so we can now unlock the sniper rifle here, so let's do that. And the other thing I want is armour, so let's unlock that as well. Now the thing is, to put armour on and off, you do need this one thing here, which is an armour locker, because that's what you... it's just something that you need to go to be able to switch armors and also put mods on them and things. So we have to unlock that too, which means there's a few things to build now. Firstly, well, let's build our armor first. So armor is going to be under weapons again, so that gets that going. Now, as I said, you can't actually use it without an armor locker, so we need to get one of those made. And we can place this anywhere we want around the base, so that's not a problem. So this will then give us some armor. So once we've got that, it's going to increase our temperature tolerance, as well as give us some protection against mobs. So for example, if we get bitten by spiders again, it's not going to cost us, I think we lost 90 health per bite there, because we got bitten twice. But we didn't get any other afflictions, so we were lucky. So as long as we keep this going here, which means that we keep our food over 450, then our health will regenerate, which we will do. I've got a few, yeah, I can make a few more bandages actually, let's do that. Oh, we did make this survival tent here. So if we place that down now, this gives us a respawn point here, and later on in the game when we make a few things, we're going to have to wait for quite a while for a few things to make. So what we can do is pass time by just pressing F and we sleep 8 hours. Now when we do this, we don't lose any hunger or anything like that. 8 hours just passes. Now one thing that we are going to be looking at is if we go to F2, then it opens up this menu here, well, in its own time. Now these are blueprints. So these here are blueprints that I've downloaded, and it's very easy to do that. Lots of guides on how to do it, but you're not going to see these. But these are all the standard blueprints which you will see. It comes with the basic vanilla game. So these are all the bases, as it says. These are the hover vessels. Hover vessels basically just stay on the ground, they don't fly. Small vessels, they do fly, and capital vessels also fly, but they're bigger and they can go between star systems. Whereas if you have a small vessel and you equip it, then, or equip it with what you need, what you can do if you click this here, this is your star system here. Small vessel, you're limited to traveling within these within this area here. Capital vessel, if you press this, it allows you to go to other stars. So that's the main difference between the two. Capital vessels being a lot more expensive and just bigger. So if we just go back to F2 here, if you do play the tutorial and you look at small vessels here, at one stage in the tutorial it says make this thing here a Polaris Scout. So because I went through the tutorial and I made this and started using it, it's actually quite a nice vehicle and something I got used to, and I guess with all games what you get used to you get to like, and so I'm going to be making this again. Trouble is I do need to be level 7, so there's the only problem there, but we do have all of the resources. We got the copper ingots, we got plenty of silicon, well we got way more than iron and copper, and we got over 500 silicon, so we're good there. Now carbon substrate is very easy because all you need is that, and you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can take this now. Actually 9, 10, sorry. Might need a few more plant fibers there. Because what is this? This is 4 plant fibers and stone dust for 10. We need 200 of this. So I need a few more fibers, which we'll go get. So meantime, I'm just going to place down our other constructors here. I don't have anything for them to do at the moment, but one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the armor locker down. So you basically stick this anywhere. We'll pick it up later and move it to our other base once we get it. Just have to find somewhere that we can put it. It's good enough. So then we can access this armor locker, and there we can put our armor on. Done. All right. So now we've got our armor on. We can go H, and what that does. Sorry, just go tab again. If you press H. Sorry, just click here. No, this doesn't work. I thought it was H to take the helmet on and off, but it's not working. Okay. All right, I'll look into that. Anyway, but there is another option, and that is J. So you look in the bottom left there. Let me just go here, just right here. If you go J, it activates a jetpack. If you have that jetpack on, it means that you can jump a lot higher. It also means you can jump from quite high places, and when you're landing you just activate the jetpack and it slows you down so you don't get hurt. So that's J. So for some reason when I was doing the tutorial I missed that part, and yeah, you need the jetpack. Jetpack's handy rather. Alright, so what else do we need? We need to be making our weapon, don't we? So let's do that. So we had a sniper rifle. So that's going to be under weapons, of course. Weapons and items. And there, that's there. Yeah, we need more plant fibers because we need 200 carbon substrate, don't we? Alright, and I think this gives us 15 bullets each time. Can't quite remember. But we've got all the goods for it. Now I think we're going to need more plant fibers. So let's go down. Anyway, one quick way to do that is to cut down some trees. So let's do that. I could take some wood from the biofuel place there, but there are a couple of trees nearby, so let's do this. Because each piece of wood can be converted into 20, so it's as good as 80 fiber there. So remembering that without the armor, if we just go tab into stats, our comfort zone used to be 15 through 45, was it? I can't remember exactly what the numbers were. But the armor's given us a larger comfort zone. And if we look at the temperature there, 7, so we were cold before. So where did we need it? We needed it here. Okay, so there is our sniper rifle. We've got some rounds already, which is enough to be getting on with. So you have to press R to load it. Okay, so now we can go hunting for bear. So next thing to do is going to be, I want to get to level 7 because I want to be able to make this thing. Now, to build up the comm station into a temporary base, we're going to have to build a couple of things. So if we go into F3 and go into base, what we're going to need is a fuel tank. Well, we're going to need a small generator, and to run a small generator, we need fuel. So you need the fuel tank to put it in. So you need those two things there. And we're going to want a small constructor. The small constructor is going to be able to make a few things that the portable ones can't, and we're going to need one specific thing which we'll see later. So we need those three things, all of which were accessible at level 3. And the other thing that we're going to need to do is build a, if we go into, this is kind of the base icon here, devices, we're going to need a core. So then once you put a core down, what we're going to do is we're going to put a constructor there. We're going to have our generator and fuel tank, and then we'll be able to access this base and start to make things using the base constructor, which we're going to put here. But we don't want to do this initially, and the reason is as soon as you put a core down, then you're liable to be attacked by drones. So I want to hold off on doing that. So what I'm going to do instead, or rather I'm going to do it at the last minute, because as soon as that core goes down, you are vulnerable. But what I want to do is, as well as getting this Polaris Scout in place, I want to go for this Blue Moon base here. It's quite a nice little starter base. Now the only thing that we don't have, we've got the iron, we've got the silicon, we've got the copper, carbon substrates, easy. The only thing that we can't make in the portable constructors is the concrete growing plots, and that's where we are going to need this puppy here, the small constructor. And that's the only reason we're going to be making this. So once we get all those things down, we have to place our core down to be able to use the small constructor, which I'm going to put here. Then we can make our 2 concrete growing plots, and then we'll be able to get this Blue Moon base made. And you see it takes 54 minutes to make, and this is where we're going to go to sleep for 8 hours, because that way when we wake up it'll be ready to place. And the good thing about this base is just going F2 again. It comes with defenses, and all you have to do is put the bullets in, and you're good for drone attacks. But also this thing here, just going to the small vessels again and going back to our target one, which is the Polaris Scout. This one can take drones down without any problem whatsoever. So once we have this, we're not going to be worried about drones anyway. You've got it says here combat 206, defense 57. You don't really have to worry about the defense because the drones don't attack you so much as the base that they're targeting. But you cut them down very, very quickly. So what we want to do is get level 7, get this, and then we'll work on the base here. Meantime, we've got our core made, but we do have the opportunity. Oh, I've got lots more bullets as well, which is nice. Alright, so what else do we need? So we want to make this small constructor, so let's just queue it up so that it makes while we're out leveling up. There's our small generator, so it's just looking at the placeable line at the bottom, CV and base, always check that that's the right one. Because you've got these fuel tanks here, you've got fuel tank small and fuel tank T1. Now fuel tank small, if you look at the placeable line, it says SV, HV. That's small vessel and hover vessel, so this one isn't going to work on a base, so you've always got to check that line. So this one is CV base, which is capital vessel and base, so that's the one we want. So once we have those 4 things, we'll be able to get our base up and running, but before we do that, I want to get this Polaris Scout in place, and for that I'm going to have to run around and get up to level 7, which is what I'm going to do. Alright, so that's the plan for the night time. I'm just going to run around, pick up enough plants, kill up enough things so that we do get to level 7, and then I'll be back for probably, we'll be in a place to make the Polaris Scout probably by morning time. So I think I'll end the episode here, because all I'm going to do now is just run around picking up flowers, leveling up, get to level 7. And then when I get back, all of this is going to be completed, and then we'll start putting the goods in for the Polaris Scout, get it made, get the base made, and then we're off to the races, because we'll also be in a position to go for this base here. So one other thing I'm going to do during the night, before we start episode 3, is mine a lot of stone. Because if we look at this one again, we need 2,000 stone dust. So that basically means we need about 500 stone. Now we do have some stone dust already. Not much, 654. That's actually more than I thought. But yeah, we're going to run around and do that as well while I do that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the morning of day 3, and we'll get our Polaris Scout made. We should be in a position to get our base up, and yeah, we'll see how the end of day 3 looks, but we should be in a very strong position by then and able to deal with drone attacks. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye.